I was living with my brother. I was just trying to find anything and anything I can do. I was like, if I have to work at McDonald's, I'm going to work at McDonald's. You know, like I don't,
whatever it takes.
It takes. I need to make money. I need to pay rent.
Yeah.
And so I ended up I was going to start a job at a detailing, like a
car detailing,
just car detailing at a dealership. And I was going to do that. And it was, I'm going to tell the story. And like, it's just that Sunday. So I already put the paperwork in. I was ready to start. This is what I was going to do for like whenever, until I can find a photography job in Seattle. Yeah. And it was that Sunday where I get a DM from a person that he wanted me to work for a marketing agency.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Untapped Potential Podcast. I'm your host, Max Prado.
And I'm your host, Chris Navan.
And today we have a very special guest, Carlos Sanchez, also known as Reelvlogs. Carlos is a videographer, photographer, and digital creative who has paved his own path in order to pursue his passion behind the camera. Carlos, really excited to have you on the show, man. How you feeling today?
Feeling good, man. Feeling blessed. You know, I've never done a podcast before, so this is brand new because I'm usually behind the camera. You know, I don't know if I belong in front, but you know, I'm definitely blessed to be here and like share this platform with you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you, man, for coming through.
So, Carlos, you have a really interesting story, you know, which is why we asked you to be on the podcast, and I want to dive right into that. Can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and where you come from?
Yeah, so I grew up in Quincy, Washington. I don't know if many people don't know it, but it's a very small town in Washington. Yeah. And so it's right next to, so if people know the Gorge, it's like 5 minutes from the Gorge. That's how most people know Quincy because they come through, people go in and out. So it's a small town, you know, it's a very agriculture town. Like, you know, a lot of different like Hispanics there. And I come from a Hispanic background. And so that's kind of like my upbringing a little bit. It's like I was doing agriculture. My parents did agriculture, and that's just kind of, you know, the American dream. It's like you got to work hard to get what you want, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like what I was doing, like when I was growing up, seeing my parents do that. But I think something that I really saw with my parents was the entrepreneur side of them. Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, like growing up, I didn't really know at the time, like what they were doing, how they were moving, doing different things to actually put food on the table, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I now realize being older. It's like, oh, they were actually doing this because they wanted to support us and make sure that we had a bright future out of us. And so whether that be like my mom transferring from agriculture to doing daycare. So, because at the time, like she was doing agriculture and I wouldn't see her very often when I was younger. Yeah. She would leave us in the morning, would pick us up at night, go to sleep, and then it's kind of a cycle, go to school, whatever. And something that I realized is that she kind of saw that she was missing out on her childhood. And so she kind of transferred into daycare herself because she was like, oh, I can do daycare. I can make money. I can be with my kids. And that's what she does to this day. And, you know, and then going to my dad's side, like something that I saw him was like the entrepreneur side is also, he started a carpet cleaning company. So growing up, like coming out of school, I'd get out of school and I'd actually go clean carpets with him. I hated it at the time. I was like, Dad, I do not want to do this. Like, I hate cleaning carpets. It was like, I don't know if you've been like in a room when they're cleaning the carpets, but it gets really hot in there because obviously it's like steaming and all that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd come and dreamt, smell, all that. So it was, you know, at the time I hated it. The only reason I did is because he was like, hey, I'll cut you some cash. Like, come help me out. You know, so I was like, okay, whatever. And so, you know, seeing that from both sides of them is something now that I'm like extremely grateful for and appreciative because it's like, yo, like that actually helped me who I am today. And so, you know, it's cool to see that, you know. So Quincy, Washington and, you know, agriculture parents coming from a Spanish background is an interesting, you know, now it's an interesting thing to say, you know.
That's cool, man. So that's kind of where you got a little bit of your work ethic, right?
Yeah.
So you went to school in Quincy, grew up there, everything, and then you graduated from Quincy High School?
Quincy High School, yeah.
Quincy High School, cool. What did you do after that? What was the next chapter?
So, I mean, I kind of want to touch on this. It's kind of like, I was a runner. I ran track. I was running track. That was my life before photography. I know we'll get into photography, but I wanted to touch on that track and field because it was a huge part of who I am today.
Right.
You know, And so
And people wouldn't think that, photography and track and field, like those are two different universes.
Different lanes. Yeah, 100%. But I think what I'm trying to get at is track and field really showed me a lot. It showed me hard work, dedication.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is stay in your lane.
Stay
in your lane, Sure. And so, cause like cause I did the 100, 200, 400, 4x4, 4x1, all the sprinter kind of things. And something that I always ingrained in my head, like work hard, be dedicated, and stay in your lane. You can't, like when you're doing these type of things, you can't focus on the outside noise. You can't, when you're on a mission, when you're on a journey, your path to what you want to do in life, you can't listen to the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to stay in your lane, focus on what you're doing, focus on your stride, and you'll get to the finish line.
Just get it done.
Isn't
that funny that in today's day and age, like with social media and all that, it almost makes it a little harder to do that because you have all these things going on. You just open up your phone and you got all these people showing off their, highlights of their life, or, you post, something good that happens for you, and you probably have some people throwing shade at you, or, it's really hard to kind of stay in your lane. How do you do that, like in today's times?
So I think it's just the way I use social media. I do consume content, but I want to consume a lot of content.
Mm-hmm.
I like the type of content I do consume is content that's going to help me or kind of give me, like if I'm in a rut or something, I'll search for that content. I'll be like, I literally Google, like, how do I get out of a rut? How do I do this? How do I do that? Because that's the type of content that I know is going to get me farther in life. Because I think the hardest thing is trying to break away from the, just following a bunch of people and seeing different content, seeing people like have these nice houses, have these nice cars. And that's cool, but it's like, if you see that it's affecting you and like in a negative way, it's like, maybe you should rethink that and like maybe move away from that,
Yeah. And I also want to say too, that type of content isn't reflective of the reality either. And I think a lot of people have mixed perceptions of that or are confused with just seeing somebody's lifestyle and not knowing, oh yeah, they actually rented that car. They don't actually own that car. Or
fake flexing.
Exactly. And so I think the thing that stands out to me, since I've known you, is the fact that you do really consume, like, I wouldn't say educational content, but more content that helps you elevate and grow as a person. I see you like reading books. I see you doing all kinds of things that help sharpen your skills.
Yeah, man. And it's even like what I share too. Like I try not to share too much about, like, I always like stuff I always want to share is stuff that's going to help other people.
Yeah.
Because I want to help other people. I want to help, because it's not easy. This journey of life, the journey of discovering your passion, discovering what you want to do, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy. And I've been through kind of like figuring that out and figuring out, okay, what am I going to do with my life? Figure out like, who am I? And there was tough times there, there was tough times where I was like, damn, like, do I really want to do this? I can just be doing like whatever other 23-year-old is doing, having a good time, which I do, but it's just like having that balance, And so that was my biggest thing with social media. How I use it is like what I consume. I know what I consume, and then I also like what I share and put out.
Yeah,
right.
That's cool. So we'll get back to social media too, because I know that's a big part of what you do, right?
Yeah.
But I want to go back to the root of what started your journey in photography, videography, and this kind of creative side of you.
Yeah. So I guess how it started is, I don't know. I can never really pinpoint the different places that it started, but the various different places that it started is one. Me and my cousins had a YouTube channel. Not a lot of people know about this, but me and my cousins, I used to be really into cars.
Oh.
So my cousins, we had a YouTube channel called Goon Squad. Shout out to Goon Squad. We had a car channel. We do like, work on cars and all that stuff. So that kind of elevated me to kind of do like editing and like YouTube and that kind of stuff.
Because you did the videos for that, right?
I did the videos for that, exactly. And so, and then also another thing I kind of see too is that my brother actually, he was doing photography too. And one time we went hike. So this is like one video that always like goes into my brain where I'm like, that's why I started, or this is how I started. There was a video that we shot for a random like clothing company or whatever who shot it, because he was like getting like, he got clothes, he got merch. It was like, oh, let's just do it.
Hooked up.
We got like a little GoPro. We got a
cool,
GoPro.
man.
We went hiking and like we did a little video. It's still out there in the world on my YouTube, but yeah, that's the one video that kind of like sparked my inspiration and sparked that part of me. And also another kind of piece that I feel like fits into the puzzle. In high school, I did a video production. This is crazy that I say this, but like when I was doing that video production class, I mean, it never crossed my mind that it was something I was going to do. And it was in high school. I had no idea what photography, videography was, but it's really funny looking back. It's like I do that now, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just really funny, you know, and it's kind of cool to look back, you know, and see where it actually kind of started and see like the roots of it, you know?
That's cool.
So what was that like spark? Because I know you mentioned when we were discussing before that you had moved on to going to Spokane for school, right? And so you continued to do track there. I'm assuming, you know, based off of what you experienced during your track and field time in high school and like the video production, editing, and all that experience carried over. How, like, what made that switch for you to move into photography or videography? Because that happened when you were in Spokane, right? That didn't happen in high school.
Correct. So yeah, the transition period from like, because I ran track for 9 years. Like that was my life. That was all I thought of. It's kind of like how my photography life is now. Like that's all I think about. So like track and field, I did it for 9 years.
That was your
my
passion.
thing. That was my passion. Exactly. Yeah. And the switch was like, you know, I was running in college. I was pretty good. I was decent. I wasn't the best. I'm going to be real with you. Keep it real. But, you know, I did a video for my track team. I did like a little, like, you know, whatever video, like it was cool. Like all of us got together, did like a video. And after I did that video, cause I was doing vlogs at the time still, like while I was doing track and like during that same period. And then I did that video and I kind of like that, I don't know what it was, but like, I mean, I think it was a lot of positive feedback that I got from that video. I was like, you know what, like
reinforcement.
This is something that I can actually might be able to pursue as like something. I didn't know it was like it's gonna be a job or anything, but I was like, I like doing this. Like, it's fun for me. Like, let's just try it out. And so, and it was like track at the time. I was just kind of getting like a little worn down on my body, and I was just feeling very like I was trying to do like school and all that, and it was just like I had to talk with myself and be like, okay, like what am I gonna do?
And that's what a lot of people, I think, forget too, is that they think that they can do everything, that they can achieve all the goals that they want in track and field. In this case, you can achieve what you want to do as a photographer, but eventually at some point you have to make a decision. Where do I put most of my energy and most of my effort? And how do I, like, where do I want to grow the most?
Facts.
So,
I agree.
So what was that like? What was that video though? Like, was it just highlights of the team? Like, what was that type of interaction that kind of led you to that experience?
Well, it was like the video itself. It was like I had a drone at the time, so it was like drone shots and then actual video of people.
Oh, so this
running.
was like a full production.
It was
wow.
This was like
it wasn't just a rinky dink video.
No. So this is like one of the first videos that I felt like it felt put together. Like I look back now, I'm like, I could do way better.
but this was like,
but like that was like, I was like, oh, yo, I'm the G, you know, I'm
exactly.
the guy. And so it was, so like, that's kind of what it kind of just got down to, is like, yo, this is a cool video. Like I never imagined myself even making a video like that. I just had a camera and I was just going to do a video. So it was, you know, it was funny. It was funny.
That's cool, man. Yeah. And so then you got into photography too. How did that work?
Photography. So, I mean, I was just doing it like both at the same time. But my very first portrait, like I just hit up a random person on social media. I was like, hey, like, let's shoot. And so I got out of my shell and I was like, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to shoot. And then it was just like a snowball effect. It just kind of like, I just like felt the drive and like the passion for it. And it just like, I feel like once you find your thing or your passion, it's like, you don't want to stop. Like it's like now it's like you're just gonna keep doing it because it feels if it feels that not void, but kind of like that space in you where like this is like you feels good. I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
It's like the equivalent of somebody's potting or like painting on the weekends or like something that they do really enjoy. But you also get to do that for your job too, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like. You from track and field, you went on to doing a little bit of portraits for folks. what was that type of like, what was your first client, or what was that type of experience that led you to kind of build your resume from there?
Yeah. So I think going into that, I think I want to mention a couple people. It's like there was a, like at the time in Spokane, I lived with my cousins, but like there wasn't I didn't know people out there. I literally had to go out there, meet people. So social media was a big part of that. And so some of the people that I've met were huge influential people in my life. Like TS The Solution, he's a artist, he raps and all that stuff. He makes music. And then LQ, he was my barber at the time. But those are my two like people that kind of like really, they believed in me, believed in my craft. I did music videos for TS. I did videos for LQ. I did videos for his wife, for like she did nails. And so that really brought me to who I am today, as far as like, you know, the people that really showed me the way to like know who you are and actually want more out of life, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, like there's also like other people that were very influential in my life. Like obviously my parents and like, you know, different people that were part of my life.
Yeah.
And so, but those are like, I think from then on in Spokane, being around that, like that energy, like it's huge. Because obviously, I mean, we all know it's like your life, like who you are and who you want to become. It depends on the people you surround yourself with.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
It depends on who you surround yourself with. And they were the people that I needed at the time. Because, I mean, I didn't really have people that, I didn't have many friends out there. Like, I didn't really know too many people. And, you know, they were the bigger picture, because I'm a Quincy boy. You know, I come from a small town,
humble beginnings.
You know, I come from a small town and, you know, small-minded thinking. And, you know, they gave me the light, like, oh, there's more, like there's more out there. You know?
That's cool, man. Yeah. Being from a small town, I can 100% relate to that. Yeah. You know, when you branch out of your hometown and you start meeting people with different mentalities, different mindsets, and you find out that they support you, that they believe in you, that makes all the difference, because 100%. It kind of makes you realize like, wow, there's a big world out there.
Exactly.
And there's 100%. A lot of people out there that could buy into my vision and that believe in me.
100%.
It just makes you feel empowered to 100%. A whole other level.
And it makes you want to even grind even more, because like, oh, like this is actually something I can do and actually pursue, because there's people like it. People enjoy seeing my work, you know, and that just kind of like threw that fire even more. Like it was just a burning desire now. And to this day, it's like, I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's cool,
that's
man.
Crazy,
that's
man.
awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you turn this kind of hobby / side hustle into a career, into a job? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I think the big part of where I am today is social media. Social media has been the key factor in what I do now. Like I can mention, obviously, the people that I met in Spokane, it was basically all through social media, networking and like meeting new people. Cause it's, I mean, nowadays it's kind of hard to get out there and like meet new people and all that different thing. And so I use social media to the max. Like I hit people up. I randomly like message people like, hey, like I want to work with you. Are you down? A bunch of people ignored me, but that's okay. You know, that's part of the process.
It happens. Yeah.
You know, but those few people that said yes, you know, it kind of like sparked that. But as far as like social media, you know, I think networking was a huge part of it, but being consistent on social media and making sure you have a brand. Brand and consistency is 100%. Key. It worked for me. It worked for where I am today, which I'll talk about right now. And so the consistency and branding. So I think, so talking a little bit about like the transition from creating this from a hobby to a career is, so I moved from Spokane to Seattle. I was going to school. I ended up dropping out, didn't finish school. I was like, it wasn't fulfilling. I wanted to do photography, videography. So I moved to Seattle. And so I was living with my brother. I was just trying to find anything I can do. I was like, if I have to work at McDonald's, I'm going to work at McDonald's, you know, like
whatever it takes.
It takes. I need to make money. I need to pay rent.
Yeah.
And so I ended up I was going to start a job at a detailing, like a
car detailing,
just car detailing at a dealership. And I was going to do that. And it was, I'm going to tell the story. And like, it's just that Sunday, So I already put the paperwork in. I was ready to start. This is what I was gonna do for whenever until I can find a photography job in Seattle. And it was that Sunday where I get a DM from a person that he wanted me to work for a marketing agency. I was like, this is crazy. It was just a DM from social media. I didn't put no resume. He found me, which was really cool and a testament to social media and the power of it.
Yeah.
And so I was working there, did a lot of cool stuff, did a lot of great things. And, it got to a point, it was great. I was doing photography, videography, and it was great. I loved it. But it was just getting to a point where I was feeling a little burnt out. No shade on him. It was I was only a guy, and we're just trying to make it happen because it was a startup.
You were doing everything.
I was doing everything, but for me at least, it was hard.
And it's tough for people who don't do that type of work to understand how much work goes into it.
100%. And it was just getting to that point where I was feeling exhausted. I had to get home and I was tired. Doing a lot of video because I was doing video, photo, and graphic.
That's a lot.
So I was doing
that's 3 different people's jobs.
100%, and also social medias. But it was I'm a hardworking person. I'll get shit done, but it was just it was getting to that point. I was like, man, I don't know how much longer I can, because I was thinking long term. I was like, okay, how much longer can I do this for? And so going from that, I get another DM. So this DM was from another person. And, at the time I was like it seemed like a scam. I was like, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to do this. I'm fine where I'm at. I'm doing what I like to do. But I ended up just testing the waters. You know what? I'm going to try it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to see where it goes, whatever. I'm just feeling kind of but the crazy part about it, it was again, I think it was it was on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I don't know what day it was, but it was at that time, my lowest point of kind of feeling burnt out, man.
Right.
Wow.
And it to this day, I still think about it, man. I'm just how did I get lucky? But at the same time, I feel I worked my butt off.
Yeah.
I worked my butt off.
It came at the right time.
Yeah, man. And so kind of going after that, I ended up taking that position, and that is where I work now. And so kind of tell you a little bit about it. It's a life insurance company.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's a life insurance company, but I handle all the media side of it. So I do video, photo for our agents, because we have agents across the United States, Canada, and all that stuff. And so, and it's the best decision I've made till this day. I think the first decision that was the best was moving from Spokane to Seattle. Moving from where it was comfortable to uncomfortable. I think that was a huge thing that I don't know if I wanted to do, but and then also taking this position to be a media specialist for the company, man.
That's cool, man.
It's crazy, man.
And you would have never have experienced that or had that opportunity potentially if you would have stayed stayed in
Spokane.
Exactly, if you stayed in your area of comfort. So taking that risk and moving and just saying, "Hey, I'm going to figure this stuff out until I can make it work."
Yeah. And I think for me at least, it's kind of having that mentality of I'm not gonna say, oh, hey, move from where you're at and just go somewhere else and just go out with without a plan. I what I'm gonna say is if you feel you're kind of getting in a rut or just feeling you can't move up, you can't elevate, maybe search something else or move or do different things, change your situation, but plan for it. Don't just go out there willy-nilly, just pretend you got a plan, but
there are very few people who find success doing that. By
exactly.
The way. Yeah.
Exactly. So I had a plan. I just didn't just move and I'm going to make, I was my mindset is always have a plan, but do everything you can to make it happen. So that's when I say, if I have to work at McDonald's to make ends meet, I'm going to freaking work at McDonald's. I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
We're going to work.
As long as you can find that success eventually and just keep working
and just keep working. Exactly, man. That was my biggest thing.
That's cool, man. Calculated risks there, right? You're going to take that leap, but you know that you have a plan once you take that leap. You're not just going to jump all blind and go into the darkness. No, that's cool. And this is a prime example of it paying off because you turned what was a hobby that you didn't even kind of plan really to a job, a career.
Exactly, man.
So that's
to this day, man, it's very... When I think about it, man, it's crazy, man. It's just you hear these stories, you hear stuff like that in like books or like movies, and it's just like to kind of live that and actually see it like you're like something that like this. I dreamed of it.
Yeah.
I thought of it. I manifested it. I was like, yo, like this is how I want my life to look at. As a kid, a Quincy guy, dreaming about living in Seattle, the big city, the place of opportunity. Like that was my biggest.
That was your goal.
That was my goal.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I feel like only people from like the east side of Washington can really understand that. There's no big cities really on the east side. You got like Spokane or like Tri-Cities, but like Seattle is like the big city. Like to make it out of over there, it's crazy. It's a big deal.
It's one of those things that you just kind of like have to talk to yourself about it and like got to make the decision and make it happen because you just gotta, I feel like you just gotta make it happen.
Yeah. Speaking of big moves though, I want to ask you a little bit about what's the future of, Reelvlogs, and I know you have something coming out called Keep It Real.
You got a lot of things cooking, man.
Let's touch on that. Whatever you're comfortable sharing, because I know you haven't fully released a lot of this, but I know you wanted to touch on it. So,
I think so. A couple things. I mean, I'm always working on different projects and different things that I got going on. But one big thing that I am working on is this new thing called Keep It Real, and I think for my folks on Untapped Potential, I think you guys can know this. So it's Keep It Real, and this brand is it's gonna be, because I always wanted to build a community, like a brand where people can go to and like really tap into that part of themselves that can help them discover their passion.
Right.
So basically kind of like my mission statement is like empowering others to overcome adversity and really discover their passion.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the big thing. So basically what I can say is I'm building a brand, keepitreal.co, and it's going to be cool.
It's going to be multifaceted, not just photography. Right?
That's cool, man.
So it doesn't involve any photography, actually.
That's cool, man. I'm proud of you because, you're a really motivational person and you're a prime example of somebody who chases their passions. And from the sound of it, this brand is going to help others chase their passions.
Exactly, man. I just want to create something that, myself 4 years ago wanted.
Yeah.
There's something that can kind of like be a part of.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not like, I'm always going to say it, man. It's not easy. I had very dark times. I had very tough times where I was like, I don't know what I want to do, but I just want to be that voice for people and help those people, and support and empower them, man. It's just because it's not easy.
Yeah. Sometimes
keep it real.
Sometimes it's not enough to climb to the top of the mountain. You got to throw down a rope or a ladder to help those that come after you, to make it easier for them so that they don't have to run into the same road bumps that you did. So that's exactly what you're doing.
And it's more about it, it's not even like you don't have to be doing photography to even like the brand or whatever, because this is more of just is just more about discovering your passion, like what you want to do. Like it can be, like arts and crafts, like, I don't know, whatever you want to do, and so finding, like, discovering that and being able to like know, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, or this is something that I want to do, with my life, kind of thing.
And then figuring out a way to do it full time.
And like also like kind of overcoming those obstacles that kind of like, okay, like you have to know yourself, you have to like know how you move and different things, so that's kind of like the big gist of it. Yeah. But I mean, I got a bunch of different things that I got going on. Like Keep It Real is a part of it. Like Reelvlogs is only going to continue. Like that's not stopping. And there's future stuff that I got going on. But that's the way I always think of it is like day by day, step by step, brick by brick. Yeah. Because it's not going to be an overnight thing. Like I think the biggest thing I'll always say is do one thing every single day to get that big picture. Yeah. So whether that be an email, whether that be, reminding yourself about something, whether that be editing photos. For me, it's like do at least one thing every single day to kind of push you to the next step, the next level. Right. That's kind of what I always say.
Love it, man.
Love it. How can people reach you on social media?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to reach me is probably through my Instagram at Reelvlogs. And
that's REELVLOGS.
Correct. Reelvlogs, and hopefully in the future, keepitreal.co.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Amazing.
Carlos. Well, thank you for
thank you for coming through, man.
coming, man. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. I'm honored to share this platform with you guys, man. It's cool. It's my first podcast, but I think you guys are well on your way with some great different stuff, guys. So.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
It's
that,
been a
man.
great conversation too. I'm really excited for you and what's to come with Reelvlogs and Keep It Real. So definitely keep a look out for that. What Carlos has cooking up. If you wanna learn more about Reelvlogs or Carlos in general, his social media handles will be in the description. New Untapped Potential Podcast will be coming out every single Monday. So make sure you like, subscribe, and catch us next time.